What's happening, YouTube? Ryan here for Tricrow Studios, and today I'm going to do a quick video, hopefully a quick video, with a question that I get asked quite often. And on my other channel, I've never made a video for this, so hopefully this turns out all right. So the question that I get is, what is the difference between Universal Audio Apollo and a Universal Audio UAD satellite, whether it be Thunderbolt or what I have here, Firewire, even though my Apollos are both Thunderbolt. So pretty much the difference is one is an audio interface in the Apollo, and the other one is a Shark processor. So the Apollo itself is an audio interface that has Shark processors. So the pretty much it has a satellite built into it. Mine is a Duo, or both of my, actually everything that I have is a Duo. So I have three of them. They are all Duos. And they combine together, so I have 6 Shark processors, which means I can use the UAD software, so the plugins, and I can, with the Apollo, use them in real time when I'm recording, or use them in post. The UAD satellite, however, only works in post, and it usually only works in your DAW, which is still great to have. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do probably a really, really bad over-the-shoulder, because I don't like using the what do you call them, screen capture. I'm not a gamer, so I don't use the screen capture stuff to do my screens, and I find it's a little odd doing it on 2 screens. So I'm going to do a really weird over-the-shoulder, and I'll give you an overview of the UAD software and the console software that you really use for the Apollo. Okay, I promised you a very awkward over-the-shoulder, and here we are. So what you're seeing here behind me is the UAD console software, which primarily works with your Apollos. So you can use this to record effects and processings and all those different things on the way in. So that can in turn save you processing power and save you time in the long run, because you're not using all of your processing at the end after you've recorded everything. You can actually use that processing while you're recording, and then use even more after the fact, if you have to use that, which hopefully you don't. Over here, which the microphone is up here, so you're probably not going to be able to hear me, so I'll try to do it really awkwardly. Over here is my DAW, which I'm using to record my voice right now. That is generally where you would use the UAD stuff for the satellites. So you're pretty much using that as a mixing and mastering versus recording suite or whatever, and mixing and mastering with the Apollos. Right now I have about 100 tracks going on, a little over 100 I believe, while I'm recording my voice. So I cannot show you, because it's recording right now, I cannot show you in real time the post-processing in that software. However, I can show you it in the console software. So I'm going to very awkwardly, hopefully I'm going to cut this, do a better over-the-shoulder for this. Okay, so here we see, as someone really cool says, the fruit computer. But here we see the console software. This is where you record for the Apollo. Now, all of these, or almost all of these, are available just with a UAD satellite. Actually, I think all of them are, but they're all meant for post rather than the Unison, which is part of the Apollos. So you can't really use them on the way in. So you wouldn't be able to use the mic preamp parts, but you could use like the EQ section, certain things, but whatever. The big thing that people usually like to see is the plugins like the Studer. That's something that tons of people like to look at because it moves and stuff like that. It's actually a really helpful plugin as well. But you can also, I have to make sure I have these. Let's go up here. On the way in, you can also use, with your high Z, you can use a Marshall, this is a Plexi, I believe, a JMP Plexi. So you can use this on the way in as if it was an amp with your high Z connection. Another thing that you can do, remove all, is you can go into the preamps. So say you don't have a microphone preamp, you don't own one. So if you've bought these, you can use these microphone preamps. Like for me, this is major, but you can use a Neve 1073. You have it right here, so you're actually tracking through a Neve 1073. It recreates it quite well. Obviously, it's not the exact same. There's going to be subtle differences, but it still works the same way for your 1073 microphone preamp. Another one that you can use is the Universal Audio 610. So I have a solo 610, but I also have both of the preamps, or the plugins for the preamp. So you're running this through your Apollo while you're recording. Very easy, makes it great. A lot of the plugins that you have here, like there's a whole bunch of EQ, there's a whole bunch of mastering and stuff like that. One thing I find really handy, if I can find the mastering. So one of the helpful things here that you can use with both of the UAD2 satellites and the Apollos is the Shadow Hills. Now this is a mastering compressor, and this is in real life, is a very, very expensive one. Now obviously there's going to be subtle differences, but you're still able to use this while you're mastering your audio. So a whole bunch of things like compressors, there's different effects like kind of chorus, different modulation effects, EQ, reverb, which I find really, really handy and useful. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole mastering suite. So this is why you would want to get the UAD2 software. And when you're using like the satellite or the Apollo or the Apollo Twin or any of that, it's not using your computer processing. It's actually using the processors built in to the Apollos or the satellites. So it saves your computer a lot of processing time. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, which I'm sure you'll have a whole bunch, go ahead and you can either direct message me or just comment in the comment section there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can if I can answer your question. And hopefully this video here will help Kevin want to pick up an Apollo.